What's up, everybody? Former Glory Day here. Listen, I just wanted to jump on and do a really kind of an informal video, just revisiting my videos from last week where we talked about all of the changes that the community was going to be seeing in patch 1.4. And I thought it'd be fun if the night before the patch releases, if we kind of talked about the biggest winners and the biggest losers. So the videos that I posted with the hero updates had a lot of interaction from the community, many people sharing what they liked, what they disliked, who they were really bummed to see got kind of, in their opinion, tanked, and who they were really excited to play. Once again, thank you so much to Omeda Studios for allowing me to see that first look of patch 1.4, giving me the privilege of being in the Predecessor Creators Guild. YouTube is where we kind of come to after. Our primary platform is actually on Twitch. So if you aren't already a part of our community or following, please consider twitch.tv/FormaGloryDay. The link's going to be in the description to this video, and I'll try and figure out how to put it right here. But come and join us. We have a blast, and we're going to be playing the heck out of 1.4. So without further ado, I think we should start with the losers. The first hero that comes to mind when I think about biggest losers in the community's opinion is Chimera. I was surprised. People were so upset about the changes that they did to Chimera. So if just as a reminder, overall, they kind of shifted his power into the late game, gave him a little bit better healing in the late game. They gave him a little bit more range on his jump, but again, a lot of his damage was shifted to the late game. And people were really frustrated about that. They were saying Chimera is kind of a one-track hero. He does one thing, and that is get ahead early, lifesteal, and just auto attack your opponents to death and snowball into victory. A lot of people could not get behind the fact that they shifted his power into the late game, and they really feel like this is going to land him in a completely unplayable place. So he was one that was a big loss, people felt like. Another hero that I believe people were disappointed to see in terms of losers was Zinx. People were disappointed with the changes that happened to Zinx. They felt like she had a little bit more skill expression in 1.3, and that they kind of turned her into more of like a heal bot now. It was kind of the way some people were putting it. The only thing that I think would be not directly in that way, in my opinion, is her bad medicine is like a lobbed ability that can make contact with the enemy heroes now. Previously, that wasn't an option. So a little bit more targeting there, a little bit more ease of use, and also kind of strategy as far as where you can throw it. But yeah, it's a little bit less CC oriented, a little bit less movement speed oriented, and more just like healing. And so people kind of were disappointed to see that she was just turned into like basically just a heal bot. One of the biggest losers that people were like very disappointed, and there was a lot of conversation around like where's he gonna land, was Richter. I think it's like there's no way around it. People are like, it is a fat L that his ult is now CCable. There's really no way around that. Then with the passive swap, he's got less consistent shielding. Still has shielding, but it's when he uses his pull and the first instance of damage on his ult, so a little bit less frequent than every 8 seconds of no damage. But people were really disappointed to see that his ultimate can now be CC'd. So that was definitely a big one. Another one that got a lot of conversation for my videos was actually Zarus. So he didn't really receive too much like in the way of directly losing, but people were kind of saying they wish that he was made more into that like gladiator, warrior, bruiser archetype, that instead he kind of feels like he doesn't really have a footing or doesn't really have a very specific foothold as far as his archetype and his niche goes, that he looks like a bruiser, but he plays more like a lower health type of fighter, with a little bit more poke damage, but not as much like long lasting in the fight. They're saying that he looks like a hero who would be much more survivable than he actually is. Some people were commenting on the change to his ult being a bigger area but a lower wall, saying that was going to make it more possible for people to jump out. But again, his is more of a conversation around not so much that the changes were bad, but that they weren't what people were hoping, which was to create this true gladiator archetype. And the community kind of at large felt like that was a bit of a miss. Last one I have as far as big losers that the community was frustrated about was Yin. They were disappointed to see additional changes to her ultimate. They felt like the changes that they already made made her weak. So they were disappointed to see that there weren't any positive changes from the ult. Now the slow has been decreased. And then in addition to that, her lash kick no longer roots. People were feeling like she can't really lose much more. She's, this is it for her basically. Again, I'm an optimist. I'm trying to err on the side of, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We have to wait for the meta to land and see how these heroes shake out. But these are more of the community's opinions on the videos that I posted. So I just figured I'd kind of create like a all-in-one video where we talk about the community's opinions on the biggest losers and the biggest winners. Speaking of, let's roll right into some of the community's opinions of the absolute biggest winners. First and foremost, FaZe. FaZe is the community's, I would say, in contention for #1 biggest winner. She, with her new phase blink and with the 1 second cooldown on said phase blink, should she successfully land her blind, is absolutely nutty. And I'm very, for one, I'm very excited to give her a try, but the community is like thrilled at, well, I hesitate to use the word thrilled. People are a little nervous, but man, I think it's going to be crazy to see what people do with her. Let's see, another one that was a big winner. I think the community was happy to see the changes to Gadget. They felt like this gave her a more cohesive kit, that it made a bit more sense. It made her a little bit more easy to use. Now, I do think that her passive is going to be one that's very revealing. I don't think it's one that everybody can use. Remember, this is the one that stacks throughout the game, giving her more magical power for each stack that she has. That's something that, you gain those stacks through CC, damaging with abilities, killing monsters and minions. So if you're not someone who's good at keeping your creep score up, you're going to see that you fall behind often with gadgets. So I don't think it's for everybody, but I do think her kit ability changes are going to benefit everybody. So another one that people were saying was a big benefit was Murdoch. Murdoch gaining the ability to reuse his move stem, getting a reset on that should he get an elimination while he is in it, was something that people were really excited about. That's the hot pursuit, being able to reset. And the other thing that people were saying was a big benefit to him was adding armor shred to his buckshot, just giving that ability another layer rather than just a knockback and some spread on your damage, but giving him something that lasts a little bit longer. In the same vein, as far as carries go, community, as far as my videos go, we're really excited to see the changes brought to Drongo. Drongo, now his rad rounds can no longer be cleansed. So that was kind of like the main way that those would be countered. Now they can no longer be cleansed. If you guys remember in my original video, I talked about his shrapnel cannon no longer knocking him back, but someone in the community thankfully pointed out to me that that's only the case if he's standing on the ground, which actually is a win for him, because if he's, doesn't want to be knocked back, now he has the option to choose jump and ult, knock back, or stand on the ground and ult and don't knock back. So it's actually even better for him. So he's got some good changes in his way as far as the community goes. Another honorable mention, I think, personally, is the changes that were brought to Gideon. Enemies can no longer take his portal, and he gets to move at the end of his ultimate. That's a big win. One that brought some controversy, that I think the kit is an improvement, but the community's opinion was kind of in the middle, was Morigesh. People were not super, some people were super excited about the heal change. Some people were not very excited about the heal change. All in all, it's 40% healing on the pre-mitigated damage. So it is going to be more damage than it was before. Morgesh's healing on Swarm used to be a set amount of healing multiplied by some magical power. Now it's 40% of the pre-mitigated damage as healing. So the cap is much, much higher, because at maximum rank, you had 32 healing plus 15% of your magical power, which might have gotten you above 40%, but it was after mitigation, because damage was calculated after mitigation. Now it's 40% of the pre-mitigated damage, just flat out. So that's a lot better as far as her heal goes. So she kind of won with that. Another huge winner, I think, for this patch, didn't see a lot of people in the community commenting about this, but I personally think it's a big win, is Bellica. She has a reset on her ultimate now. So the ability no longer locks on, but it's a piercing shot, and if you get a takedown, it resets her ult shot, which is amazing. The other good change to her is with her knockup. It used to travel from point of origin outward. Now is a little bit of a delay, and then the entire field is going to knock up all at once, which is great. So it's more reliable for knocking out people that are at the the far end of her knockup. Let's see. One of the biggest controversial hero changes was to Shinbi. People felt like giving her ability to dash vertically was insane, giving her additional charges to her dash, which is still a little bit confusing, because community pointed out to me that she already has 2 dashes, but it does say that they added a charge. So we've been trying to figure out if that's 2 charges of 2 dashes for a total of 4. Not sure. But they also made it to where her ultimate hits everyone who is marked instead of just one target. So she's going to be doing it insanely well this patch also. And these are just some of the biggest winners and losers. There was more talk going on underneath the videos. If you didn't see them, I encourage you to check out my channel. I've got a video posted for every hero going into 1.4, so you have all the information that you'll need to equip yourself to jump into the patch, which comes out tomorrow. So buckle up and get ready, because Predecessor is never going to be the same. But again, I just wanted to say thank you, all of you, for the huge outpouring of support that came after these videos. I mean, we absolutely exploded as a channel. We went from like 12, I think, subscribers to like 75 subscribers now, which is amazing, amazing, amazing. So super, super duper thankful for you all. Please like and subscribe the video and support the channel. It's super helpful. And yeah, I'll see you out in the Fields of Sanctuary. Till next time.